Are you dreaming of an escape, a quiet, beautiful sanctuary to call home? But the high cost and tiny dimensions of city living have you convinced that true peace and sophisticated style are simply out of reach? Let me stop you right there, because that is a total myth. You don't need sprawling square footage or an unlimited budget to achieve a breathtakingly calm, profoundly elegant home. We are standing right now in a small Tokyo apartment, the very heart of high-density living, and yet this space embodies a tranquility and design brilliance that most large homes only aspire to. Forget the notion that small spaces must look cramped, cluttered, or cheap. I'm going to show you the precise, game-changing secrets of the Japandi aesthetic fusion of Japanese wabi-sabi's elegant minimalism and Scandinavian hygge's cozy warmth hand. How we've distilled that essence using the accessible, beautiful pieces from MUJI and IKEA. This is the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents, a masterclass in living large by living small, where every single choice serves a dual purpose of function and profound beauty. This is more than just a home tour. This is the ultimate blueprint for transforming your smallest space into a powerhouse of serenity and style, proving once and for all that a calm, beautiful life starts right here, where you already are. Before we dive into these design secrets, if you are serious about transforming your home and life, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and tell me in the comments, what is your biggest small space challenge? Let's turn those challenges into calm, elegant solutions together. The journey into truly calm living begins not with adding things, but with the radical discipline of subtraction, a core principle in the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents. This is what the Japanese call the intentional and beautiful use of empty space, which is perhaps the single most powerful technique for making a small apartment feel exponentially larger and infinitely more serene. Is not just dead space. It's a breathing space. It's the pause in the music, the white space on a page that allows the few elements you do have to really sing. In this compact layout, every piece of furniture is kept low to the ground to respect the vertical flow, drawing the eye upward and outward, an immediate psychological trick to expand the perceived volume of the room. We ruthlessly edited the contents, adopting a minimalist, wabi-sabi-inspired perspective where only items that are either purely functional or profoundly beautiful are allowed to remain. This means the surfaces remain largely bare, providing visual rest points that are essential for a Tokyo Zen Calm living environment. The fewer objects you have, the fewer decisions your mind has to make, directly translating to a lower stress environment. This disciplined approach to emptiness is the foundational layer of our Japandi design, allowing the subtle, high-quality textures and natural materials of the subsequent layers to truly stand out, maximizing the sense of peace in a very small footprint. This is the art of intentional emptiness, making every inch of your small Japandi apartment work harder for your mental well-being, not against it. Stepping into the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents, your senses are immediately greeted by the textural honesty of natural materials, which is key to its enveloping sense of calm. The Japandi style is a celebration of nature, which is especially vital in small, urban environments like this Tokyo space, where the connection to the outdoors can easily be lost. We selected a palette dominated by light, untreated wood. Think pale oak, bamboo, and birchetching the minimalist lines favored by MUJI. These are layered with organic textiles, chunky linen for the throws, soft cotton for the bedding, and woven jute for the area rugs. The texture adds a depth and visual complexity that prevents the minimalist design from feeling cold or sterile. It's the Scandinavian concept of hygge expressed through Japanese materials. Notice how a simple, raw ceramic vase or a handmade wooden tray becomes a focal point precisely because of the intentionally muted backdrop. This material focus makes the small space feel rich, grounded, and incredibly warm. The choice of materials directly supports the Tokyo Zen Calm Living vibe, acting as a tactile counterpoint to the city's concrete and glass. This strategic use of texture and natural finishes is what gives the small Japandi apartment its soul, turning a minimal space into a deeply sensory and comforting refuge. The entire atmosphere of the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents is built upon a painstakingly curated color palette that is intentionally low contrast and profoundly soothing. The goal here is to maximize light and create an unbroken flow, which is critical in small space design. We used soft, creamy whites and muted beiges for the walls and large furniture pieces, providing a continuous, airy canvas. This creates the optical illusion of a much larger space, a classic trick for a small Japandi apartment. The accent colors are drawn from nature-rethink deep forest green from a meticulously placed plant, subtle gray-brown from a woven wool rug, and the warm, earthy tone of the natural oak wood grain. Black is used sparingly, primarily as a high-impact, clean line for specific structural elements like a minimalist picture frame or the base of a floor lamp to ground the lighter colors, adding a powerful, purposeful contrast without disrupting the calm. Furthermore, natural light is maximized with sheer linen-look curtains from IKEA, diffusing the harsh edges of sunlight and wrapping the room in a gentle, atmospheric glow, perfectly embodying the Tokyo Zen Calm Living aesthetic. This commitment to a neutral, low-contrast palette, coupled with diffused natural light, is non-negotiable for achieving this level of small space serenity. The key to thriving in the compact reality of a small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents is demanding that every single furniture piece earns its place by being either multifunctional or exceptionally efficient, very definition of smart small space living. We've heavily leaned into the genius of both MUJI and IKEA to achieve this. Consider the living area. Instead of a bulky sectional, we use a low, modular sofa that can be reconfigured in moments, reflecting the adaptable nature of a Tokyo Zen Calm Living space. Our coffee table is a low-profile wooden unit with hidden, seamless storage drawers, keeping necessities out of sight but within easy reach. In the dining area, we use a simple, extendable wooden table that easily accommodates one for a quiet meal but expands for guests, a nod to Scandinavian functionality. The pieces are all visually lightweight, often standing on slender legs or sitting flush to the floor, reducing their visual footprint. This intentional selection of multi-purpose, space-saving furniture is how the small Japandi apartment manages to contain everything necessary for a modern, comfortable life without ever feeling crowded, maintaining a sense of airy, effortless calm. Clutter is the absolute enemy of a Tokyo Zen Calm Living environment, especially within a small Japandi apartment. Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents, which means our storage strategy must be nothing short of genius. The fundamental rule here is, if you can't see it, it doesn't exist, preserving the pristine visual calm that defines the Japandi style. We utilized vertical space relentlessly, installing sleek floor-to-ceiling storage units from IKEA that blend seamlessly into the wall, often in the same soft, neutral white to virtually disappear. Crucially, all storage is closed. Drawers, cabinet doors, and minimalist boxes are preferred over open shelving to contain visual chaos. The iconic MUJI storage boxes and modular shelving systems are employed internally within these cabinets to keep everything perfectly organized, a system within a system. Even the bed is elevated, providing underbed storage for seasonal clothes, maximizing every cubic inch. This emphasis on hidden, highly organized storage is the silent hero of the apartment, allowing the few curated display items to truly shine, and ensuring that the small living space feels continuously serene and manageable, not perpetually on the verge of mess. The bedroom in the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents is a true reflection of the Japanese futon influence, adopting a low-profile design to promote deep tranquility and expand the vertical space in the small room. We opted for a simple, low wooden platform, a classic element found in both Japanese and modern Scandinavian design, which immediately establishes a grounded, restful aesthetic. Keeping the bed height minimal is a psychological trick that makes the ceiling feel higher and the room more open. Bedding is kept simple and soft, favoring natural, breathable materials like linen and organic cotton, echoing the light, neutral palette of the rest of the small Japandi apartment. Nightstands are minimal and uncluttered, perhaps a small, round stool or a floating shelf to hold only the essentials, a book, a small ceramic cup, and a soft, low-wattage lamp. The deliberate absence of decorative pillows, excessive throws, and busy patterns ensures the space remains an uncluttered haven, a true Tokyo Zen Calm Living sanctuary that is dedicated solely to rest and peace, making the most of every small inch for maximum restful impact. No Japandi space, especially a small urban retreat like the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents, is complete without a deep, mindful connection to nature. In the small Tokyo setting, this connection is realized through the careful selection and placement of natural, organic forms and living greenery. The plants are chosen for their simple architectural shape: a tall, slender snake plant, a delicate bonsai, or a few simple branches in a ceramic vase. They are deliberately not overly bushy or tropical, maintaining the clean lines of the Japandi aesthetic. The pots and planters themselves are natural materials, like raw terracotta, simple ceramic, or woven baskets, acting as subtle textural anchors. Furthermore, the theme of organic form is reinforced through handmade, imperfect ceramics and pottery, embracing the wabi-sabi concept of finding beauty in imperfection and impermanence. The gentle curves of a piece of driftwood or the subtle grain of a bamboo floor matte work to soften the strict geometry of the small apartment's architecture, injecting life and a palpable sense of the outdoors into the Tokyo Zen Calm Living space. Lighting in the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents is treated not just as a necessity, but as a crucial, atmospheric design element that fundamentally changes the feeling of the small space. Harsh overhead lighting is a major mistake in small space design, instantly making a room feel cold and exposed. Instead, we employ a strategy of layered, warm, ambient lighting to create a perpetually cozy and intimate atmosphere, perfect for Tokyo Zen Calm Living. We utilize paper lantern pendant lights, a classic Japanese design element, to diffuse and soften the light. Floor lamps and table lamps with warm-toned bulbs are strategically placed in corners to create pockets of gentle illumination and eliminate harsh shadows. The use of dimmers is non-negotiable, allowing the light to be adjusted for mood and time of day. This layered approach ensures that the light flows smoothly and softly, highlighting the natural textures and the gentle, neutral color palette, turning the compact dimensions of the small Japandi apartment into a welcoming, multi-sensory haven that feels expansive in its warmth, if not in its square footage. One of the most powerful takeaways from the small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents is the proof that sophisticated, harmonious design does not require bespoke, high-end pieces. In fact, the seamless integration of readily available items from MUJI and IKEA is what makes this design so achievable and powerful. The secret lies in a highly curated selection process, focusing only on pieces that embody the core Japandi tenets: simplicity, natural materials, and unpretentious functionality. From MUJI, we selected their iconic minimalist storage solutions and quality, simple linen textiles, which bring a high-end, clean-lined Japanese sensibility. From IKEA, we chose light-toned wooden furniture with clean lines, minimalist lighting fixtures, and textured rugs that reflect the Scandinavian emphasis on function and affordable design. When carefully chosen, these elements blend together so organically that they become indistinguishable, proving that a truly serene and stylish small Japandi apartment is completely within reach for anyone, anywhere, ensuring that your Tokyo Zen Calm Living dream can become a tangible reality without the need for an impossible budget. So there you have it, the complete, definitive blueprint for creating a profound sense of calm, elegance, and openness within the most compact of homes, epitomized by this small Japandi apartment Tokyo Zen Calm Living with MUJI and IKEA Accents. We've seen how the intentional emptiness of the honest warmth of natural textures, the soothing flow of a neutral palette, and the genius of multifunctional furniture and hidden storage can utterly transform a small space from a constraint into your greatest design advantage. This style is not about having a Japanese home or a Scandinavian home. It is about cultivating a life where every object, every beam of light, and every carefully chosen accent contributes to a feeling of deep peace, making your small space the ultimate sanctuary and retreat from the outside world. This is the truth of Tokyo Zen Calm Living, proving that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. I hope this deep dive has given you the inspiration and the practical tools to begin your own Japandi transformation today. If this video helped you look at your small space differently, please show your support by giving it a big thumbs up, sharing it with a friend who needs a little Zen in their life, and leaving a comment below telling me which Japandi secret you will try first. I can't wait to see your own journey to small space harmony.